Welcome, everyone. This is Cesar Trabanco, VP of Business Services at the Global Chamber. And as part of the podcast that we're doing on the Olympics for the upcoming Paris 2024, I have the honor to be interviewing a couple of people, a couple of athletes. And in this case, I have Daniel Gonzalez, which is part of the table tennis team from Puerto Rico, my home country. And Daniel is going to be um, telling us a little bit about his background, what he's looking forward to in terms of the Olympics. And without further ado, Daniel, thank you. Thank you for spending your time with us because I know that you are probably packing your bags right now and having the last sessions of training. So that's is very kind of yours. So welcome, Daniel. Can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about your career?
Thank you very much for the invitation to do the podcast, to the interview. Cesar, we are. I right now just took some therapy, some massage therapy. So I'm really good right now. I just finished my last sessions in Puerto Rico before going to the Olympics. I will go to the Olympics to France on the 18th of July. That, by the way, is my birthday. So I will be going.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you. I will be going there to prepare a little bit, and then we will go to the village like around 23rd or something. We will go to the village to start preparing fully for the Olympics. My name is Daniel Gonzalez Negron, and I started to play table tennis like when I was 10 years old. But I played all my life. I played sports. I played sports since I was 4. I played baseball, basketball, like any Puerto Rican kid. Baseball, basketball, and I played volleyball. My mom taught me volleyball also, and I was playing on teams until I was 14 in all those sports, and also at 10 I added table tennis. So my parents had a very busy schedule when I was around as a kid, playing all those sports. And my first interest in table tennis was because my cousin, he had a ping pong table at his house, and while we were young, we loved. I mean, we spent all the time together, and he was beating me every time at his home. So I decided at 10, I decided to go to table tennis just because I wanted to beat him in the in his ping pong table. And then at 12, I made the national team for under 13, and I went to my first international tournament that it was in Cuba. From that point on, I kept being in the national team of the different ages. And at 14, I got my first there was a program that was being done by Puerto Rico, that they were sending a few athletes to study, to live and study, and of course practice in Barcelona, Spain, in a school of it's called Centro de Alto Rendimiento in Barcelona. So I was one of the athletes that went there. I stayed 2 years in that school, uh, studying and playing. And then I moved to Madrid at when I was 16. I started to live alone. And also when I came back from that school, we take a decision that we will start doing homeschooling, so I could go back to Madrid and keep on living and training. I have to thank my parents for that, because of course that was a decision that was really against the beliefs of the Puerto Rican people, like to take out your kid out of the school to let him go to do a sport, and even more that is a sport that wasn't known at the time. It was really challenging, but they allowed me to follow my dreams and to dive into my dreams and to try to be a professional athlete. So yeah, at the end of 16, I started living alone. Everything that has to live alone, that has to do with living alone, like every single thing was harder. I had to start to cook my food. I had to start to do the budget that I was how will I spend the money. I have to get up early by myself. I have to do everything by myself. Wash clothes, dry the clothes, wash the dishes. And of course, when you live alone, when you live at home, when it's your mom, your dad,
Yeah, no, that they're definitely comparing to other kids, like your
yeah,
friends, and back home and your family. It's like, that was very mature from you.
yeah, that was the really hard part for me. That I sometime at some point when I was 16, the budget didn't it wasn't enough. So at some point I had to choose between eating lunch or eating dinner, and that was a really really tough part in my life. But I mean, I did it because I wanted to. At the same time, I could go to Puerto Rico and still be with my family, but and never missing a meal or whatever. But I wanted to go out and practice and be better. So after 16, I went until 19 in Madrid. Then I moved to Falkenberg, Sweden. When I moved to Sweden, I was 4 years training in Sweden. Then I went. That's more or less in the south of Sweden. Then I moved to the north of Sweden, around 3 years more. So it was seven in total. And then at the end of that period, I came down also to Spain again, to Madrid, but to the national center. I lived around 2 years there, and then I moved back to Sweden again. So in total, I have been living outside 16 years. And the last year I was living in Japan. So yeah, all of that was mostly training, trying to qualify for Olympics. I have done my share of I have my share of results in the Central American Games. In 2010, I entered the national team with 17 years. Uh, then in 2014, we won medal in 2010 also. 2014, we won a lot of medals in the Central American Games. Then 2015, Pan American Games. I missed the London 2012 Olympics. I failed to qualify. Then after the 2015 Pan American Games that we won medals in teams also, I failed to do the 2016 Rio Olympics. Then in 2018, we went to the Central American Games in Colombia. We won a lot of medals also. Then in 2019, we went to Peru, Pan American Games. Also, we won again one medal in doubles. 2020, Tokyo 2020/21. I failed to make that Olympics also. So those I failed to do the Olympic 3 times, and it was really hard. It was amazingly hard. It was amazingly tough. I even got into you can say into a small depression. I don't like to use that word lightly because it's a serious illness when you have depression. And but I was really depressed for a time. I could not watch those Olympic Games. But then I kept going, and in 2023 we had the Central American Games and the Pan American Games, and now in 2024, I just had one heck of a year. I got third in the Pan American Cup that helped me qualify for the World Cup. And I am actually the first man in Puerto Rico, the first Puerto Rican man that have qualified for a World Cup ever. So this helped me to qualify for the World Cup, and all of this helped me to qualify for my first Olympics. So it has been a long journey. It has been a long journey. It has been a really difficult journey, but it was dream come true at the end.
And that's amazing, Danielle, and many congrats on that. I think you mentioned London, so it's been 12 years
Yeah.
trying to get there, and
Oh
so
yeah.
this is an amazing example of perseverance, and not quitting. It's like, I'm gonna keep trying, I'm gonna keep trying, and I think
Yeah.
this is an important message for whoever wants to achieve that goal and have that dream. And it's like, some people go to the Olympics at 15. There's
Yeah.
some cases, and some others, it takes longer, but the important thing
Yeah.
is to get there. And and that's amazing. And that takes us to the fact that now you're an Olympian,
Yes.
after all that journey. And I just wanted to share with you, um, I searched the other day. I wanted to know, like, how many Olympians have there been for the entire period of the Olympic existence, like 125 years now. And there's no exact number. The data from the beginning of the Olympics is very, very poor. But something that this statistics page that I went to had a number, and they said this is a round number, but this is close. So this is something that you can use. And so there have been 128,000 Olympians. So over the span of 120, 25 years, more or less. So that means that you are one of 128,000 people in the world, or in over a century. So that makes you special. That makes you totally special. And so that's something that you need. When you sit down and you think about the whole journey, and issues that you had, the fact that you had to grow up before many people, when it comes to living alone and all that, it was worth it. And
Yeah.
now the question is, how does it feel? How does it feel now that you're on LinkedIn? How do you
Oh,
feel? How do you feel looking forward to Paris in a couple of weeks? Tell us a little bit more about those emotions.
oh, it feels surreal. I mean, it's a dream come true, really. I don't have words for it. I still my eyes get blurred, and for me, it's really my dream from childhood come true. Because I always, when you have this activity in the schools that your kids that the teachers tells you to dress as what you want to be when you're older. I always dress as a sports guy. I always dress as a baseball player or a basketball player, whatever the case may be. I always say that I wanted to be a sportsman, a professional in sports. And I never dreamed that it was table tennis, but I dreamed that I was going to Olympics or the NBA or the MLB. It happened that I am professional in table tennis, but I wanted to be an Olympian since I was a kid. So it really means everything. It really means that my dream really came true, and that it's really special. That's okay. I lost some family on the way. I couldn't see a lot of family on the way. But they are with me every time. They were with me at the time, and they they are with me now also, and they will keep being with me even if they pass away. And I'm really really proud that I made that happen, and that my family made that happen also, because without them it was not possible. So I mean, until I go to Paris, and I see where I am at, it will be like, I mean, I will be there living the dream, literally. So it will be amazing. It will be amazing.
I'm sure about that. I'm sure about that. And when it comes to Paris 2024, because you have already told us about, some sacrifices and challenges throughout the journey, throughout your career. But in the last year, or the last couple of months, what has been the biggest challenge, for you at this stage? Like, one one part of you were like, I want to be there. I want to be there. But if there's anything particular during the last year that has been a challenge for you?
The last year I was living most of the time in Japan,
Yeah.
and literally since November of 2023 until June 30, I had been in Puerto Rico 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So um, I passed Christmas in Japan. No, 4 weeks. Sorry, I was 1 week in Puerto Rico at the start of January. Then in April I was 1 week more. In May I was 1 week, maybe a few days here and there, but that's about it actually. So it was a long journey. It was very sacrificing. I went to Japan. That okay. It was another dream of mine to go to Japan and live in Japan. So I managed to do that. But at the same time, being away and having to pay by myself, all that also it took a toll on me. Because of course we we're not rich. So I managed to get some help and everything, but it was a lot. And I mean, it was worth it. Yes, it was worth it, but it was a lot of sacrifice to get that and to go and practice and to go and do my best all the time. And I was there, and I had one of the hardest years practice wise of my life. And then at the end, it came through. It came through. So also one of the hardest things was sleeping the last 2 weeks when I knew when there was going to be the news from June 1st to June 18th. I couldn't if I slept 3 nights, if I slept good, it was a lot because I was waking up shaking. I was waking up with nightmares. I couldn't sleep. It was I was anxious. I was nervous until I got the news. Then I started to sleep better.
Can you tell us about that day, that moment where you got the news? Where were you?
Oh,
With whom? And
I was like in 4 days vacations with my. I was not in Puerto Rico, but I was with my family in Boston. So I was helping them move because they were moving from one apartment to other. So I was helping them carry the things and everything. And I was checking the whole day the list. I was checking the whole day the list, and it didn't came out. So at one point, I gave up on checking the list, and I just focused on moving with my uncles as fast as we could. Suddenly, my mom called, and she was crying in tears, like she couldn't speak. And we thought because she was on speaker, my uncle and me, we were scared because we thought something bad had happened. Normally, if someone call you crying, you don't expect something good
yeah,
to happen.
totally.
So then at the end, she could manage to say that congratulations, you qualified.
Awesome.
And at that time, being Puerto Ricans, the automatic word that came out of our mouth. So
Yep,
it was
I totally know it.
so we shouted, and I think we my other uncles that were up in the apartment, they got through the window and they say, "Hey, what happened?" Like and we just said that I qualified, and they we were celebrating a lot. And yeah, that moment we just finished. The movie was done.
Yeah,
So for the night the movie was done, and we just went and celebrate, and have some dinner and cried, and really uh enjoy the evening.
at least you were with family at that moment.
Yes,
That's great.
yes.
So moving a little bit to, I was telling you before the call, like, we at the Global Chamber, we work with companies. It's more like a business organization. So I wanted to touch base a little bit on the money factor. And you mentioned, um, at the beginning, you mentioned about, when you were in Madrid and the budget being limited. And and now you mentioned about Japan, and you pay by yourself the expenses of that year. Um, how how have you been able to sustain yourself? Do you have sponsors? At what moment in time you got the sponsor, and before that, was it like family supporting? Tell us a little bit more
Oh,
of that, because that's something that, if we exclude the professional athletes, like from NBA, soccer, all those,
yeah,
the regular athletes from other sports are having some difficulties, and people don't tend to see that, and so that's
yeah.
why I'm eager to learn from you about your experience.
So at the start of my career, it was my parents. They did all the heavy lifting money wise. So that's why I say I have. If they would have been how they were, as supportive as they were, I would have been here. That's for sure. That's money wise, and that's cultural wise, because in the culture of Puerto Rico and probably the US, it's very hard to leave school, and come and dedicate yourself to sports, especially a non popular sports. And it has been a long way. So my parents financed me the more of the starting of my career. Of course, I've had help from the Olympic Committee, the federation, and everything, but that doesn't cover it all. So I have to go, and at the start it was very tight, and then maybe 7 8 years ago, my the company that has helped me until now is Universal, and they have helped me with the sponsorship. But I mean, of course, it's still tough. It's still tough. It's still good, but it's good. I cannot complain. They've given me. I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful to them. They have always been there to help me any way they can, and every way they can. Is if I ask for something, they are always there. They literally have never said no. So I have to. I am grateful to them. I am really grateful to my fathers, my parents. I'm really grateful to the federation, the secretary of sports and Olympic committee. But yeah, the truth is, we have been through tough patches, and yeah, right now I have my sponsor. I'm hoping to get some more.
That
So
was going to be my next question, actually. Like, do you think that being an Olympian now, being in Paris 2024, would help you, moving forward in your career with more support?
yeah, I certainly hope so. So I really hope so. I mean, it would be great to have it. I mean, I have my team now. I have a team, so it's we're trying to get some. I mean, if I'm glad to get all the help I need, and yeah, to live. Trying to be a professional means that I have a living. I can make a living from sports,
Yeah.
from my sport. So I hope that I can really make a good living. I hope I can soon have my house, my apartments, or my apartment. Can move in with my girlfriend, or have something that's mine. Because I don't. I still live with my parents when I'm in Puerto Rico, because I am always out.
Yeah.
Well, of course, I want to do as every other person wants to do. They want to have their own thing. They want to have grow and have family and have everything. So I really hoping that one day I can have the means to do it.
And I really hope that happens soon.
Thank you.
And moving now, something else we talked about was a little bit about culture. We at Global Chamber has members, and we interact with people from all over the world. And so I wanted to ask you, you started very young, experiencing culture in other countries. If you can tell us a little bit more about, if you had any difficulties adapting to the new culture. I know you went to Spain, then Sweden, or if you can share us some experience working with trainers from abroad, or fellow athletes from other countries, that would be great.
I mean, as I told you, I lived in Japan, lived in Spain and Sweden. I can say that every country is unique and every people is unique. I can say that mostly Europeans are really straightforward, especially Spanish people. Spanish people, uh, French, Germans, they're really straightforward. And sometimes in Puerto Rico, we like to give things a turn and whatever. They just cut to the point, cut to the chase. And what they do is, if you don't like it, that's your problem. So basically, that's what I learned. I learned that it's better to have someone tell things on your face. Even if it's not in a good way, at least they're telling it to your face, and that's mostly Europeans. They do that a lot. And they mean normally they mean well, even if it doesn't sound well. Normally they mean well. Sweden, Spanish people are more like us. Like they're really welcoming. They're really family. They're really warm people. They like the the fiestas, the parties, and the food. It's really like Puerto Rican people. And I what I can say about Sweden is that they are the sweetest people in the world. I mean, they will help you even if they don't know you. They will. I mean, at first I have a little bit troubles because I am Latin American, I am Puerto Rican, so I am warm. They are not that welcoming at start. They take their time. They take their time knowing people, and they like to take their time. They like to take their space, even if you see them every day. It took me a few years, or a few months to really get someone to really go out with with my. No, it's not with someone outside of my training. It was with my training partner that we saw each other every day. Really took me like 2 3 months to we see much every day, to go to, yeah, to say, hey, you want to go to some place together, I don't know, grab lunch, whatever. So they really take their time knowing people, but once you know them, once you're in their circle, they treat you like family. They will help you any way they can, and they are very sweet country. Very sweet people. I really love being in Sweden. If, if it's not for the weather that is too cold, I would love really being living there. But yeah, the weather is too cold. Is definitely too cold. Japanese are too educated, well educated. They are the respect for the elderly and the younger generation is really noted. The respect for the kids can go to school also in the Nordic countries. The kids can go to school alone when they are 8 9 10 years old. You see them riding bicycles. See them taking trains alone from one city to another to go to school, with their uniforms. You see them dressed, and I mean, of course, their kids are going to run and jump all around, but people understand that they're kids, and they keep their way there. And respect to the elderly in Japan is the country with most elder population, I think. So is a main issue for them. Like they really respect the elder people. They take care of them, and so it's I really love, every side that I went is really good, really unique also in their way. So it's really nice.
is incredible for you. You know, even though it's been a tough journey, it's been an enlightening journey for you. The way you've been able to learn about all this at such a young age. There's some where your friends or family are still in Puerto Rico and going through the normal stuff. Even in the U.S., which is a culture that's that we know well. Sweden, Japan, all these places are different,
Yes.
very different. And so, and do you think this has helped you in the path to the Olympics? Being able to
Um,
experience the world a little bit.
oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, you have to learn to navigate the cultures. You have to learn to socialize with people that are not even related to you. Yeah, I mean, and that they are literally from other continents, not other country, other continents.
Yeah,
You have to learn quickly their manners because you're not in your country anymore. So you need to respect their laws. You need to respect their manners. You need to be respectful. And that has taught me something a lot with understanding and respecting and being I mean, cons- uh, considerate with everything, and having an open mind about a lot of things that normally in our countries we don't have an open mind about it. But you realize that peoples have costumes also. They have history. They have their own history. They have their own costumes. They have their own elderly. They have their own history. So as well as you want them to respect yours, you should respect them. And this is the way I have learned to live. I live by those value, respect, love, share love to everyone. So it's nice.
respect is a key word when it comes to when you want to deal with other cultures, either
Yes.
business, sports. I guess at any matter, respect is key.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
great that you brought that up. So Daniel, just to wrap up, one last question. What advice in general you give to athletes or young athletes that are looking forward to participating in an Olympics in the future?
Oh, that's not everything comes fast. Like, like we said before, it took me 12 years to go to the Olympics. And yes, I wanted to quit in 2016 when I didn't qualify. Yes, I wanted to quit in 2020 when I didn't qualify. And a few more moments I wanted to quit. I wanted to leave everything. But somehow, some way, I kept going. My family was there also. Now my girlfriend, she has been there since day one that we have been together, and she has been supportive. So yeah, I think that what most defined me and my career is perseverance. You need to persevere. You need to fight through a lot of challenges that may or may not be your fault, may or may not help you right now, but you will learn from them, and you will learn from your failures. Don't take the failure as a failure. A failure is a failure if you let it be. If you learn from it, it's not a failure. You need to learn from your failures. You need to try to learn, to recover from them. You need to recover from them, and you need to keep your head high at every time. Don't be so hard on yourself. And most of everything, persevere, love, share respect. Uh, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up.
Those are great words, Daniel. I will show this to my kids in a couple of years for sure. Um, then tell us, when do you know the dates your events are taking place?
I know the days. Like it's 27 or 28. That's the first round.
Okay.
And but it's divided in 2 days. We are still waiting for the exact day and the exact time and against who.
Okay.
But the schedule is that it's 27 or 28 the first round. So basically those 2 days, and then yeah, we will need to wait and see.
Excellent. So we will be following and cheering for you, wishing you the best, and the rest of your team as well.
Okay.
I want to leave you with some words. So a member of our organization was interviewing a former Olympian from 1976, and he
Okay.
said something like, as a recommendation for current Olympians, it's like, seize the moment and
Mm.
live it. You know, take the moment. Of course, you will have your pressure. You will be, focus on the competition, but live the moment every single minute in Paris 2024. So that because that will last for your entire life. And you
Oh
know,
yeah.
he's still talking about his experience in Montreal '76. So yeah, you will be talking a lot about Paris in 15 years as well.
So that I hope so, and I will do. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll enjoy the moment. We'll seize the moments, and we'll try to live my dream as best as I can.
Excellent. So Daniel, again, thank you very much. I wish you the best. Family of Global Chamber wish you the best, and
Thank
we'll
you.
make sure to update everyone on your result.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you very
thank you
much.
for your time.